Oh, who knew? Do, 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 do. Tom, yeah. Come on. Do, 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 do. Oh, there I am. Here we go. Here we go. And here we go. And where are we? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hola. Hope you are enjoying your Memorial Day. It's kind of an odd Memorial Day. Or as Jacob Fry says, today is the day we remember George Floyd. Jacob Fry literally tweeted that out earlier today. He's obviously the biggest clam bake in the world. What a just poison little twerp. He's you remember the mayor of Minneapolis. Total clam bake. I don't even know what's going on with that dude, but he's weird. Weirdly sucks up to Somalis. He can't he's weird about it. He's like just an odd cat, man. And there's a lot of questions for him, but they keep electing him. So here's him in some Somali thing.
Somalia Hanulato! Somalia
That's him.
Somalia Igea!
This little twerp, this little femme twerp is like speaking to Somali. It's weird, man.
munaasabadan oo ay soo qaban qaabisay hay'adda People in Action oo ah hay'ad sanad walba qabata munaasabadaha maalmaha xurriyadda oo ay leeyihiin dhalinyaro Soomaali.
Let me go. There's a lot of him dancing here. He says more stuff in a second I want to play. The gushing.
Jacob Fry, Yarub!
There you go.
Doka Magalada, Minneapolis!
What an a-hole. What a weirdo.
Mufiatai! Satay! It is so good to be here out with our incredible Somali community in Minneapolis. We love you. You make our city a better place.
Calm down, dude. Anyway, he's just a total clam bake. Odd fella, man. Odd fella. That's going on today. Also in New Jersey today, a bunch of Democratic politicians are trying to F with ICE. There's an ICE facility there, including Andy Kim. Remember Andy Kim? He was the guy who donated his suit to the Smithsonian because he picked up trash after January 6th. Yeah, this is another clam bake.
So I just ask that we can be able to work to be able to open up a path here for these vehicles. I ask that you do not engage with the vehicles. I will go back here and visual ID each and every one of them. Okay? Windows down. But I'm asking you, I'm trusting you, do not engage, do not throw, do not engage in that type of way. That will just make matters worse.
You've already trained them, Andy. You've already trained them to attack the vehicles because you said that they're Nazis. So it's your problem now. Enjoy it. I'm fine with law enforcement is doing their job. They're supposed to deal with illegals. And if the public gets, tries to mess with law enforcement, then let me get this guy.
So I just ask that we can be able to.
There's one guy here.
It doesn't matter,
There's one guy who yells at him.
Free them all!
Believe you!
Free them all!
Free them all.
Witnesses! They eat their fucking lives!
Free them all.
vehicle. But it's the families themselves that are asking that no vehicle leave the site, that no one be transferred out.
Which family members are there? Can you share with
Protect your folks. They're here on site. You can talk to.
So there's your chaos, your pandemonium, and that's fine. And if these protesters mess with the vehicles, I hope that the people inside the vehicles get out with billy clubs and then smash them. There you go. Since when, like, is it okay suddenly for us to be freaking messing with law enforcement doing it? Get the fuck out of there. All right. Are you ready like I am for a little oh yeah, in the governor Mickey Sherrill is there too. She's kind of hot, I think. So we're fine with her. Candace Owens had Hunter Biden on her show. Have you heard any of this? I've always been intrigued by Candace. I always think that she's attractive. I always think that she's nuts. I don't know what's going on here. It seems to me that they're falling in love by looking at it.
Really want to say, like, genuinely, like, I'm so sorry. I just didn't even consider he's a crackhead. And, like,
Look,
like, that's actually a very relatable
I'm not,
thing. And he
yeah,
shouldn't be,
yeah,
like, to have that is just
yeah.
unbelievable to consider
Well,
every worst
I
thing that you've ever
my
done.
I am like I told you before we started, I cry very easily.
Like, but I just feel like
Yeah,
it's not who I want to be. And I think I've
yeah,
come a long way from that in general. And like, but I did partake in just the inhumanity of just look at this guy at the worst moment of his life, like with prostitutes. He's on crack, he's on drugs, and
yeah.
we should make fun of him because it makes us feel good. Or it makes us feel like we're somehow beating the machine. And that it was, I think, a really warped viewpoint. And hearing you speak about it today, I'm just like, wow, that is
You
so gross that I particularly,
For you to say that to me, I truly mean it. Just from a purely selfish point of view, it means the world. And and I still do. And
Mhm.
I'm not even remotely perfect. And I still screw up. And but
Here, falling in love.
God, like if we could have this conversation and genuinely, authentically believe that, like I think just
My goodness. If two kids like us could make it in this crazy old world, well then. All right, let's go do a little more. Here's a little more, Hunter.
I mean, whether it's Butler or Charlie or
Butler makes no sense.
these things that
Assassinations.
it's just not right. And I mean, it's so glaringly not right. It's almost as if they're just saying,
F
like,
you.
F you.
They're not even
I don't
trying.
care.
We don't
You
even
know
get
what?
good psyops anymore. And that's what I keep saying. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
so disrespectful that we're not even getting good psyops anymore. Like we're supposed to believe he survived four assassination attempts, the
Yeah.
first president that's ever survived 4 assassination attempts.
Yeah.
They lie to us about things, they make a big deal, and then they make it want to, it's going to go away. They're going to keep pretending and telling us that this is a totally normal grieving widow. Okay. No one's buying that. Like that something's
No.
just not right here. Everyone can see that this is not how you would react to your husband being shot. And this sort of just, I'm fine. And like 2 weeks later, I fully accept the narrative. I have no interest in anything else. It's over. Let's close it. I forgive him. Let's move on. You're asking us to abandon our common sense and our humanity is what you're asking us to do. And that kind of seems like where we're at. Like they're insisting on this. And I'm going, where is this going to go? Because we're not doing the thing they want us to do. Like they are just constantly giving us slop all the time. I mean, even the recent White House Correspondents' Dinner, there was so much theater to it after, so much theater. And now it's kind of, okay, Secret Service maybe shot each other and we're just going to kind of quietly move on. But Trump needs a ballroom. Like that's a normal
Yeah.
reaction. Hey, there's a shooting duck. Hey, well, we better get that
And
ballroom.
by the way, it's going to cost $1 billion now. And by the way, it's not from donors. And by the way, we're going to do it. Like, it's just the constant, like, talk about gaslighting.
This has been just
Yeah.
this, and we're not even. Are we even a year into Trump's second
Yeah,
term?
we're
We are.
a little over a year.
A little over a year in a second, and I don't think there's just been. I'm like, how are we going to do?
You kind of want Candace to know that, don't you? The ballroom thing, I'm still all for him building a ballroom. If the left wants to stop it, then stop it and just have a hole in the ground. I don't care at all about it. But the place probably needs a ballroom. This thing with the donor and suddenly it's going to cost tax money or not, who freaking knows? I don't love it. I don't love that everything's fluid with this administration. But once again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over the addition in the administration. Like the more you tell me, the more he's doing exceptionally corrupt things. The more I look and I find that he's doing them in a way that's different than the others, but they all did them. Let's see. This is another one here. This is about the cocaine at the White House.
And I guess I want to start with just one question for the culture. The cocaine that was found at the White House, was it yours?
No, not only was it not mine. No, number one is thank you for having me here. And one of the reasons is to be able to answer these questions. The one thing I am, after 6 years of this, I've been sober since June 1st of 2019, clean and sober. Verifiably so, by the way, and verifiably so by the Bureau of Probation, in which I was drug tested randomly for over the course of 2 years while I went through my trials and things like that. But beyond that is that, directly to your question, I wasn't even there. Not only there, but people have to understand is where that cocaine was found was, the visitor's entrance underneath that is where visitors come in and they come over from the old executive office building staff to go to the Oval or go to the chief of staff's office or to the offices in the West Wing. And it was found in a cubby in right outside of the Situation Room. And it's like no possibility, not even remotely, beyond the fact that I wasn't even there.
Yeah, it's his. I'm going to say with that. I'm going to stick with that, I think.
I'm bigger than you at that point.
You know what the laptop proved?
That you were a crackhead.
There you go.
That you
By
were
the way,
deep in the throes of crack addiction.
all this other bullshit, bribery.
Well, no, how about the hooker's gun, using the Secret Service? There's a lot of stuff. It was more than that you were just a crackhead.
All these other things that they investigated up and down during the Trump administration with a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, with the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney, the only U.S. attorney in the country to stay on and continue to prosecute me, who then became special counsel after I got a plea deal because I paid my taxes late. And I paid them with penalties and interest, and I owned a gun for 11 days. While
but then it ended up in a trash at a school.
Addicted and check that box. That's it. Everybody has all the information. It's not like the Department of Justice has my digital footprint in every text message, every email, and there's not a single one in which you find that would in any way supports the really serious accusations of enriching my father, enriching himself somehow, or none of it. None of it's there. So I own whatever you want to call it. I own the laptop. Come, you know what? We can go through it together. If you're willing to avert your eyes to the tragedy of addiction. I mean, just the absolute tragedy of it.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, there is no space for that in discourse anymore.
So there you go. The laptop was pretty damning. If anybody bothered to look even further into it, it'd be nice to know who some of those people were. And it's not the end of the world for Hunter Biden. I'm sure he's a charming enough guy. I'm sure. Seems like he might have been fun to party with. I guess so. I'm not a drug guy, I'm not a hooker guy either. But if I was hanging with him, I guess I don't know. In Maine, of course, in the meanwhile, we're talking about Graham Plattner. Our guy, John Featherston, is there right now watching his speech with Bernie Sanders showing up. It'll be interesting to see if the haggard, many times gently used, war on the rich is going to, work because all he is just empty platitudes. But if you want your worldview to be that, I see all the oligarchs have the money. That's why it's tough for me to afford my bills. The oligarchs have the money, and they're all friends with Trump, and Trump is using these wars and is friends with the oligarchs to protect them because Epstein. Then that's nice and easy, right? That's nice and easy.
We will not just fight the oligarchy.
we will defeat the oligarchy and the political system that it maintains.
I mean, it's wacky, dumb stuff to defeat the oligarchy. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to go after Jeff Bezos? Is he the oligarchy? And how are you going to take the oligarchy down when you're buying what when your hands are full of Amazon boxes? Like,
defeat the political system that it maintains, the politics of Susan Collins, a politics that turns politicians into millionaires, but tells you to be grateful for crumbs. It is a lie.
So I find it kind of interesting that he's going all out with this stuff. And I'm for. I agree that these politicians probably shouldn't be getting rich in the Senate and things, but we'll see. He doesn't mind taking money from other places. His dad is his stock market right now. Springsteen was in Boston over the weekend and did this.
That's happening now. The richest men in America have abandoned the world's poorest children to death and disease through the dismantling of USA. This is no longer on the front page, but children...
You and your rich buddies could fill the void, Bruce, if you'd like to.
...die every day, and this is happening now. We are undermining NATO.
Who cares?
And the world order that kept us safe and at global peace for 80 years.
Oh, the world order that kept us safe for global peace for 80 years is called the United States of America. Please, God. Oh, tedious. This guy sucks. Also, the other thing about Bruce is it's not as if I have to, like... I never, other than Girls in the Summer Clothes, I never need to hear a Bruce song. I've never been a Bruce guy. I think this stuff is... God, it's so BS. He's exempted from all the things he's demanding, by the way, that everybody else sacrifice.
Our museums are being told to whitewash American history of any unpleasant or inconvenient facts, like the full history of the brutality of slavery.
That is not true whatsoever. We're DEIing the museums. Just shut up, Bruce.
You want to talk about snowflakes? We have a president who can't handle the truth. We have a president who wants to create a $1.8 billion fund to compensate and reward people who attacked our capital, our democracy, assaulted our police.
Attacked our democracy. Shut up. Shut up. He kind of does want to create the fund, though, using the IRS money or something, whatever, man.
Officers on January 6th. This is an American outrage, and this is happening now.
Put him in a peach? What does that mean, put him in a peach? I'm going to write this. I'm going to look this up right now. Put him in a peach. Meaning. Do you guys know what that means? Put him in a peach. Put him in a peach is a slang expression that generally means to snitch on, betray, or inform on an accomplice or associate to the authorities. It stems from the word peaching, which is a shortened form of the 15th century term, a peach, means to accuse or bring charges. Jesus, what a thing to say.
This White House is that's happening now.
Oh, yeah. This White House is destroying yada, 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 yada. God. That concert would suck anyway. It just, like, get me out of there. New York Times Siena poll of socialism among potential Democratic supporters. Favorable. 49% are favorable to socialism. Net faves age 18 to 29, 36%. Age 30 to 44, 30%. Ages 45 to 64, 24%. 65 and up is only 7%. Number of white people, 28% are favorable. Black, 27%. Hispanic, 14%. Yeah, so there you go. Not great. Not great. That's what they're doing. Graham Plattner took out this ad about the Red Sox. It's beautiful.
Private equity has destroyed our favorite baseball team, stripping them for parts. Private equity is buying up our homes, our sports, and our lives. I will reverse the private equity curse. I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message because I miss Mookie Betts.
So there you go. So it's not a bad idea. Of course, they went in. Did I tell you about this last night? I think I did. Of course, they tried to get Portnoy involved in this, and he's not a fan because he doesn't like Nazis. He's Jewish. He didn't like October 7th. He's been sensitive about this, so he blew them up everywhere. It's not a bad idea. The Red Sox suck. It's because the oligarchs own the team, and Plattner's going to kill him. That's great. It's something. I mean, no, it's really not bad messaging. Really stupid people who you want to get to vote, and Democrats need the really dumb to vote, are going to hear that and say, okay. So I've got no problem with that. Put him in a peach. That's what I say. What have you done? How was your date today? What are you doing out there? We didn't do much here. If you're from up here, you know that the weather was cruddy today for most of the time, and then it got better, but still, just not great for a lot of the time. So we haven't done much. We did, I guess, yesterday we grilled. I'm proud of myself. I got a grill, and no, we didn't get a grill. I've had a grill, but I covered it over the winter, and then what did we do? I used what I think is about 3 years old, or maybe 5-6 years old, 1/3 tank of propane, and I thought this doesn't feel empty to me, and I used it to cook last night, and it's a very fulfilling feeling that I'm using old propane. This grill is the best grill I've ever had. It's a Weber grill, so it's like the first grill I've ever gotten where I wasn't a cheapskate, and there's totally a difference. I mean, you learn these things, right? So we did eat last night, which was good, or there's some extra leftover too. My Wegovy's in, so it's a double. It's 4 milligrams now, and there's a difference. There is a big difference. I had two. I had 2 forkfuls of pasta this morning that was left over, and I am finito. Can't do it, but we'll see. We'll see exactly what comes of it. I do wish that there had been the parade. The Memorial Day parade happens around here. Right around where you are. You've got your own, but that was washed out today. It's too bad, too. Memorial Day, the parades it's a little piece of America. And I think it's important to have a day that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read you something from Seth Moulton, which I really do. I think it's good to have a day that is dedicated to the people who died in combat, because they were cut short. I mean, generally, they were cut very short, their lives, 17, 18, 19, 20. And, you got to talk about this. They'll never have lives. And it's just crazy to think that just poor kids from, every town, your town, my town, from Concord, New Hampshire, or Montpelier, Vermont, or, Brockton, Massachusetts, that there are these kids who went overseas, went to France, went to North Africa, went to around Japan and the Philippines and places they'd never heard of before. Kids who are generally, I would say, a lot harder working than the average 17-year-old is now, but who were just went up against the unbelievable forces, the Axis forces. And these kids just laid down their lives. They never got to have lives. If you went back, if you were a 17-year-old kid, you get shot dead in Okinawa. Some of your comrades are coming back and doing the GI Bill, getting entry-level jobs at GM or IBM back then, or wherever it was, because the country was about to have a boom, and they could enjoy the boom and then get a nice house and 2 kids and a dog and watch the moon landing and get their first TV and all those things these kids never got a chance to do. They died one way or another in some hellhole, sometimes afraid and in pain, and sometimes stoically. It just it's so it doesn't negotiate. Just this like war stuff doesn't negotiate. Obviously, I've not been in it, but I've looked at it enough from my safe perch here to know. Anyway, Seth Moulton was in Iraq, and he actually when he was running, and I was at the Boston Herald, I kind of did a deep dive into his military service, and he saw some stuff. I mean, he's kind of a disgrace now, but anyway, I did appreciate his Memorial Day newsletter is not political, and I very much appreciate that. And it also talks about just a battle he was in. It says, "Dear friends, today on Memorial Day, we pause to honor the brave Americans who gave their lives in service to our country. I think often about the people I served with and the sacrifices so many veterans and military families have made. Today, I want to share one story that has stayed with me ever since my second tour in Iraq. My platoon was in Najaf. He was an officer, so he was like a captain or something. My platoon was in Najaf during some of the fiercest fighting of the war. After days of combat, we pushed into an ancient cemetery in the old city known as the Valley of Peace. The heat was unbearable, well over 120 degrees, and we were running low on water, food, and ammunition. At one point, after days with almost no sleep, we finally stopped for a few minutes. After catching my breath behind a tombstone, I got back up to check our lines. That's when one of the Marines called for me. I climbed through the cemetery to another Marine, Lieutenant Corporal Wells, and found that he had been killed in the fighting. He was just 22 years old. What has always stayed with me most is that he died alone before anyone could reach him. That's what today is about. More than a long weekend, it's about remembering the Americans who gave their lives defending our country and reflecting on the freedoms that their sacrifices made possible." He says, "Memorial Day reminds us not only of those who never made it home, but also the lasting weight carried by the men and women who did. War leaves invisible wounds alongside the visible ones, and the sacrifices made by service members and their families continue long after the combat ends. I'm grateful for everyone across the 6th District who continues to support our veterans and families, and I'm also proud of the communities that carry forward the legacy that we've lost. Your commitment to service and remembrance matters. All the best, Seth Moulton." I think that's perfectly said, and right to the point. No big, like it's well done. And if you want to, if you're in the mood for it, maybe you're not. You might be. I'm sure a lot of you guys are like me, where you get into a groove of finding out what some of these soldiers did and what they went through, and then it's 3 hours later and you've been crying in your beer and But his combat was pretty rough stuff. It's one of those things where I was writing about him for the Herald, and I was going to kill him about something. And I just took a spotlight to his combat, and I thought, oh, maybe we'll take a breath here. Maybe we'll take a breath here and honor what the guy and his guys did. Okay, let's see. Let's go to do we have messages? No, there's a couple of them. Cheswick is here. Cheswick says, "Please abandon Candace's Patreon." Yeah, I don't pay for her. The laptop-proof Hunter was not Joe's favorite son. That is a great point. Oh, you're sick of Cheswick, sick of the Hunter stuff? It was out there. It's like kind of a new thing. Today's there's not that much stuff that's like audio-wise, all that that we didn't get to yesterday. Today's because of the holiday, it's a fake news cycle day because all the media platform people have canned all there's stuff, so there's nothing fresh. But oh yeah, it's weird about Hunter. His story is an odd story. Oh, Billy, by the way, did I say this? I think I did. I mentioned, Billy, that I used your barbecue sauce for the chicken I made last night. It was gorgeous. Thank you. I still have more too. Okay. I don't know if you know, is there any chat messages? There is not, but that's kind of all it for me. Let me check notes. Just to make sure, because I don't want to short shift you. You're all doing stuff and having fun. Oh yeah, the picture. Somebody's making a homosexual accusation remark at me because I tweeted out a picture for this show. I was just grabbing old pictures from my phone and and uploading them, just have a picture with the link. This last picture that's up there is of me and Brett Baer of Fox News. And Brett Baer, ever since the Iraq War, and maybe even Afghanistan, when he was out there and like he was riding in troop transports with people, I always thought, this is like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I was like, man, I would love to have a drink with that guy. He just seems like the kind of dude who would be great to have a couple of beers with. And so when we went to New Hampshire in 2016, we went to this party. We got invited to this party. Me and John Sapichetti. John doesn't drink, but I was drinking. And we went to this party, and all the Fox News like gorgeous babes were there, and they all like were in upstairs. And Brett Baer came in, and I went over and bought him a shot. I said, "Hey, Brett, hey, it's Tom. I just want to buy you a shot." He said, "Really? What is it? What is this?" And I said, "Oh, it's called a whatever." I said, like, it's called a maple spliff or something. And I said, "It's a New Hampshire thing." I was lying, of course. All it was is Southern Comfort, I think. And we took a shot, and then I got a picture with him outside. Which I always wanted to do. I said to myself a long time ago, I want to have a drink with that guy. And so he did. Great guy. Just a great guy. Of course, Michelle Fields was there, too. She's been out of the spotlight since that year. She's the one that Lewandowski supposedly pushed around at a Trump event. One of the top 20, other than Alice Shattuck, obviously, beautiful women ever on the face of the earth. And I have a. Do you care that I'm going through my photo albums here, essentially? Oh, let me just check this. You know what's funny? I miss doing the show with Alice, but setting up the video, which is what she had to do, took her like 20 minutes, and she was always stressed out about it. It's really easy for me. Listen, maybe because her computer sucks, and I have the Tommy from New Hampshire special. All right, you're all out having fun, and I guess I'll join you. Thank you so much, everybody. Once again, our thoughts are with those who sacrificed their lives for this great country. We'll never be done. We'll never be able to, repay that debt to you. And just imagine, we get all this in America. We have all this, all these things, and all these freedoms and all these wonderful, awesome things. In vacations, and days with kids, and I was playing with my son Cyril the other day. He asked me to play baseball with him, so I was pitching to him, and his swing got better and better and better. He's only 8, and he's kind of new to baseball, so his swing started looking like crap, and then we worked on it, and it got better and better and better. And it just got so he was getting happier because he was making contact, and it was legit. Don't tell anybody. Kind of some of the most fun I've ever had. It was really, really fun just pitching to a kid. Even though I pitch, my arm is gone. It has been since I was 25. I pitched like a 3-year-old child, and but God, it was fun. And I thought, well, isn't that great? Getting to play baseball with this kid, and he's doing well, and he started hitting some improving, which is such a good feeling because I feel I've let my kids down by not being getting them into sports as much. I just have not. I've dropped the ball there, so to speak. But times are different than the kids have other things to do. The world is different. Kids don't just go up to the cul-de-sac or the end of the dead end street or set up hockey nets. They don't really do that much anymore, and certainly not in my town. They don't. So that felt very good to be able to do that and to get better. And that happened with my daughter a couple years ago too. She couldn't catch a fly ball, and she was all upset. My kids immediately go to overly emotional if they're not awesome at sports immediately, even if they've never played them. So, a couple of years ago, my daughter and I started just having her shag fly balls, and we spent hours, and it was so fun. God, it's so fun, and especially since I got to be pretty good at throwing up and hitting. What do you call it? They have a word for it. They call it, but all those things that those little things that are essentially free to do, playing with your kids, sports, and all those things. All of that is brought to us by the people who sacrificed themselves in these wars, who gave it all up. All these moments, that moment comes from a tab that somebody else paid. And so I'm humbled by it. I always will be humbled by it. And I know you guys are too. I know you are too. All right, enjoy your Memorial Day. Hopefully, it's you're doing something wonderful and fun. And I know you guys, so I know that your thoughts are in the right place at a day like this. You know, child approaching. We'll see you later. I really appreciate it as usual. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm on Mainwire TV tomorrow, 4 p.m. Check it out if you want to. I think the shows are getting better and better. It's me, Featherston, and Graham Pollard. Steve stepped out because he just had a baby, and there's usually another guy there with us named Matt, who is a good guy. He's a photog. Good group. Have a lot of fun. It's not all made politics. It's a little bit of everything. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Take care. Have a good day.
C'est la vie.